And it is literally my new favorite car.
So we had the opportunity to drive the Toyota Sequoia TRD Off-road. This is the Platinum trim. Platinum. Don't forget the Platinum.
I thought you were going to forget it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to forget the Platinum part. But we had the opportunity to do one of our road trip reviews to our favorite place in the world, which is Disney, which means we've put 1,000 miles. Disney World. We didn't drive to Disneyland. We live in Atlanta. Hello, viewers. We live in Atlanta. We didn't drive to Disneyland from Atlanta. But we drove to Disney World in Orlando, which is about 7.5 hours, about 450 miles. So we're at about 1,000 miles on this thing right now. So what you're about to see is our thoughts, not just of the Toyota Sequoia Platinum trim, TRD Off-road, but what we feel after living with it for 2 weeks and driving it over 1,000 miles. And, well, one of us is smitten. And
me.
Yeah, I would say both of us are, because I really like this car too. What's going on, everyone? We are about to head to Disney World, which is one of our favorite places in the world, okay? We absolutely love going to Disney World. It's been too long since we've been there. Well, it's been too long since the kids have been there. Megan and I got to go for our 20th anniversary last year, but I digress. Anyway, Toyota let us borrow this Sequoia TRD Off-road Platinum. Okay, so this is important because this is a car that's very high on Megan's list of potential SUV replacements for our ancient Suburban. And they dropped it off in Lunar Rock with black trim. I mean, this is like, if she could have spec'd this thing out, this is how she would have spec'd it. So we're going to spend almost 2 weeks with this Sequoia Platinum TRD Off-road model. And we might end up with one of these by the time this whole video is done and I've finished editing it, and maybe we have our own in the driveway. Who knows? But let's find out what Megan thinks of it. Now you can see here, and I say this as a fan of the Toyota Sequoia, the #1 shortcoming by far that the Toyota Sequoia has is the cargo space in the rear. It's nothing comparable to the Tahoe, Suburban, Ford Expedition. You can see here, this is our stuff, and this is for about 5 days at Disney World. And if you're new to the channel, my girls are older. They're 17 and 13, so we're not bringing a bunch of toys, not bringing a bunch of stuff. Don't have babies, don't have any of those kind of things. So if you have like a crap ton of kids stuff, or you have more than 2 kids where you need that third row or something, the Sequoia is going to come with compromises. So make no mistake about it, we really like this, and Megan's seriously considering getting one of these. But we also try to bring you guys truth and value on this channel, and this rear cargo area is very compromised if you're a family like us that enjoys road tripping. Years ago, when the girls were young, this would not have worked at all. Where are we going?
Disney.
Are you excited?
No.
How dare you? Do you know how much Disney costs? Do you know how much this car costs? Just kidding, we didn't pay for this car.
I wish. Can we buy one? Do you like my new Toyota Sequoia Platinum TRD
Off-road.
Off-road?
Not TRD Pro.
Oh, just TRD Off-road?
TRD Off-road. What are your thoughts? We're about to leave to Disney.
I want to keep it forever.
Yeah, they literally sent your exact spec.
I love the color. The only thing I don't love is I want the seats to be a little more cushy. Is that a thing that can happen?
Well, no, not for this exact car.
That's my only dislike, but I've been driving it.
Was that going to be a deal breaker?
I don't know. The more I drive it, the less that's a deal breaker. So I love the steering wheel. I love all the things. Yeah, but they're not the least bit cushy. Like the
Save it for the real review.
Like
we
the
gotta
King
go
Ranch.
to Disney.
All right, let's go.
To Disney. So it's the saddest part of vacation. It's the end of vacation. I'm here at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. You can see it behind me, one of our favorite places in the world to go. So what better realistic test of the Sequoia than as a road trip vehicle to one of our favorite places. So you can see what I was talking about when we left the house. The cargo space in the Sequoia is compromised, something you need to think about. We'll get into a little bit more of that in the main part of the review. Maybe we've already told you. I don't even know where this is going in the review. But here are some shots of all the fun that we had. And now we're heading back to Georgia. Now we'll get into the driving part here in a second, but I will say this. The Sequoia is a great road trip vehicle, but it comes with a couple of compromises. So unfortunately, it's time to get back in the Sequoia and drive back home from Disney. Always a sad thing. If you're wondering why the girls aren't in the video, it's because Megan and the girls, we all just woke up, packed up, and left, and they insisted that I not show them on camera. If you get to the right angle, you can probably see them back there with their heads poking over the seats, but they're gonna be mad at me if I come around the side of the car, so we better get back.
Okay, so the outside of this car is just chef's kiss, perfection. I love it. There's not one thing I don't love about it. This color, Lunar Rock.
Lunar Rock.
Lunar Rock is probably what I would get it in. What
you
I
like
will
it more than the dark gray.
What I will get it in.
Yeah.
When I get it.
Right.
I'm just putting it out there, speaking it into the universe.
Right. Manifesting it.
Yeah. The grill is huge and awesome and trucky. The shape, like I just love.
Yeah.
I love a trucky car, and this is just. It looks so tough, don't you think? Like.
Yeah.
It's just got cool lines, and like I love all the like different like I don't know. I just think it looks so cool, and it doesn't look like any other car that I've seen. I don't think any other SUV.
Looks great.
Yeah, it just is awesome, and I love it with the black accents. Is that like a?
You know, I don't know because it's a platinum, and this is the first one I've seen in Lunar Rock with black accents.
Yeah,
I have not seen this combo.
It looks awesome.
It looks fantastic.
It looks awesome. And I got when I was at work, one of my friends was like, "Is that car that you're driving? That looks awesome!" Like, and she's not a car person, but it's just like people notice it.
Yeah.
And it looks so pretty, they can't help but be like, "Wow!" And I mean, I think part of it is the color, but part of it is just just look at it, like the styling, the shape, I love everything about it. I love the side view mirrors. Is that weird to love a side view mirror?
Well, it's got the normal
It's like they're big, and the shape is, I don't know. I love it. I love the black wheels. Is that a platinum thing?
No, that's a TRD Off-road. That's the 20-inch TRD.
See, I don't know what's TRD Off-road and what's platinum and what's just
Well, like I said, I have not seen one like this.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I recommend getting this exact.
Well, don't say that because then everyone will have one like ours if you get this one.
Oh, yeah. So nobody get it because then I'm the only one driving this
Nobody
awesome car.
get the best looking Sequoia.
Yeah. It's awesome. It just looks so good.
So yeah, there's not much to add about the styling because I agree. I think the styling of this thing is fantastic. And as I said, I have not seen one like this. This is the first time that I've seen a Sequoia in Lunar Rock with the TRD Off-road package. So the fact that it comes with this blacked out grille, one of my main complaints when we've been talking about buying a Sequoia, and one of my main complaints about the higher trims is the kind of gaudy chrome grille. You have to get the TRD Pro to get that awesome heritage inspired grille with the big Toyota across the front. But then I saw this thing in the driveway with this sort of black chrome kind of grille. I don't even know what you would call it, but the black trim on this thing totally solves that problem.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And when you combine that with the black 20-inch TRD wheels, and they're on the Falcon all-terrain tires because this is a TRD off-road, but the 20-inch black wheels, the black trim on the rear, this thing just takes on a whole nother vibe. It's in my opinion, and I drive a lot of Toyotas, and I'm a big Toyota fan. I'm a fan of the Tundra. I'm a big fan of the Sequoia. This is maybe peak Sequoia. You could argue that the TRD Pro is kind of tougher looking, but in terms of just attractiveness, I think this is the best color combo that you can get on the Sequoia. Okay, so if you don't know, the Toyota Sequoia is powered exclusively by the iForce Max engine. So it's a 3.4 liter twin turbo V6 making 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque.
Is that a lot?
That's a lot. And believe me, you feel it, okay? This thing has more urgency and more get up and go than pretty much.
Is that the power like
yes,
when you're driving?
Yes, that's the power delivery of this thing.
Yeah.
Because it is a hybrid, and it's a hybrid. And we're gonna get into this a little bit more when I do the driving portion. So Megan was talking more about how she likes the drive as the potential owner of this car. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it from like sort of the technical side and also the fuel economy. We'll get to that in a second, because a lot of people have this wrong. A lot of people think that this is a hybrid, and if they don't know what they're talking about or they're looking for, they're thinking, oh, well, it must be like, get really high fuel economy and stuff like that. That's not really what Toyota's doing with its hybrid trucks. What Toyota's doing with its hybrid trucks is it's making more power, and not just more power, a lot of power more efficiently. So you're not necessarily going to get crazy good gas mileage, but 583 pound-feet of torque available immediately, right from the get-go, right when that light turns green, you definitely notice, okay? And that's paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. And because this is the TRD Off-road model, you get the Bilstein shocks, you get the Falcon all-terrain tires, you get a little bit of that off-road capability combined with the multi-terrain select and the multi-terrain monitor and all that good stuff. So this thing has a lot of off-road capability. It's got all the drive modes, it's got pretty much everything except the TRD Pro's higher rated Fox shocks and that kind of stuff. So you're getting a ton of power, a ton of performance, and a ton of off-road capability in this really good looking package, which is one of the reasons that we are in total agreement, which is rare when it comes to the cars that we test, but that this is one of
my next car.
Yeah, this is one of the ultimate cars for our particular family needs.
So this is my new car. In case anyone was wondering, he's about to buy it for me.
I'm about to buy it for you.
It's a Toyota Sequoia Platinum TRD Off-road. And it is literally my new favorite car. It is trucky. The outside looks like so good. We were actually driving it the other day in this, we pulled up, we were going to eat somewhere in the sky that like at the gate was letting us in, and he was like, whoa, what kind of car is, no, that was a Disney World. That was a Disney World. And he was like, whoa, what kind of car is this? It looks that good from the outside.
Well, the color combo.
Yeah, the color, well, I think just the car itself is what he was probably saying. I mean, the color is awesome, but I think just the car looks really, really good. But it drives very well. Don't you agree? I know you agree with that.
I like the way it drives a lot.
I really like the way it drives. It feels like trucky, but like smooth, and it's not too bouncy. It's like the perfect combination, I think, because I like it softer. You like it not
sportier.
as sportier. But I think it's like somewhere in the middle. The heads-up display is great while you're driving. I can see everything. It's perfect. Oh, can I talk about the steering wheel?
Yeah, you can talk about all this.
It has my favorite thing. The spot in the middle. What is it called? Does it have a thing?
No,
it just doesn't have the like
to
column
put your
thing. Yes, and I love it. And it is so big and fat, and it's like, it's like a real, like tough. Like I feel like I'm like, really, really tough. Now, my one thing I did not like when I first got in, and I told you that I wasn't sure if I wanted this car, is that the seats are very firm.
They are firm.
Very firm. Like my favorite seat I've ever sat in is the Ford Expedition King Ranch. That seat, like I felt like I was sitting in a Lazy Boy driving down the street, and that is what I want. I want to feel like I am in a Lazy Boy. This seat does not feel like I'm in a Lazy Boy. It's very firm. Like I even asked him, like, do we get some kind of like cheap seats and there's like better seats? Like it is that much I don't like it. But
it's not uncomfortable.
No, they're not uncomfortable. I wanted some cush, Like I feel like when you get in like a nice upscale car, that the seat is super comfortable and like feels luxurious. The seat does not feel luxurious. It feels like it was like a base model kind of seat. I don't know.
Well, the leather is good.
I love the way.
The padding.
Yeah, I love the way it looks. It's just the like there's zero padding.
Yeah, the leather covering it is nice.
Yeah, but it's literally like we put leather on top of the plastic seat, like no padding at all. I don't like it.
That makes it sound you're contradicting yourself. It's not uncomfortable.
It's not uncomfortable, but it's not comfortable.
Right.
I would never get in and be like, ooh, these are comfortable seats. Yes, I want to feel like I'm in a Lazy Boy. I already said that. I feel like I'm just sitting on like a, just a seat. So the seat is definitely not my favorite. And at first I thought that was going to be a deal breaker. But the more I drive this car and the more I look at this car, the more I fall deeply in love with this car.
Well, also, we drove this thing
all the way to Disney.
Yeah, this is about 1,000 miles this week.
Yeah, and I got more used to the way the seat felt. So it was not uncomfortable. It just didn't have that luxurious, cushy feel that I like. I fell asleep perfectly fine in it while he was driving.
You have no trouble falling asleep.
Yeah, you don't like when I'm a front seat driver. So you probably prefer when I'm asleep.
I don't like when you're any seat driver. I don't like when you're this seat driver.
Okay, the back might be one of my favorite parts. Like, how cool is this giant Sequoia in these like 2-inch fat letters? It just looks so good. And I love this black here and the black and the black and the black and the black and the black.
Yeah.
Ah, it looks so good.
The black trim looks incredible.
It looks so good. And all the like black rubbery or like whatever this is, I think those look really cool. They look like it matches the running boards.
Oh, right.
It just like makes it look really tough.
Well,
is that a TRD thing?
Yeah, but the running boards are serious. Those are TRD metal running boards.
Yeah, but like this, I know, but these like doesn't just like matches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it brings the toughness all the way around. Like it's very cohesive looking vehicle.
Cohesive,
and I love it. Like the back looks just as good as the side. Like, you know, the cars where it's like, oh, I love the front, but I hate the back.
Yeah.
This is like, I love everything. Like it all just looks awesome. Now let's open it up.
Unfortunately.
The lights. Oh, did you see the lights?
Yeah.
They go like this. When
Yeah,
you
the
open
rear tail lights are good.
Okay, now this is where we come to a little bit of a problem. There's not a lot of cargo space. You can see we've got this. Oh, that's like stuck there. We've got this like rack panel tray thing. So when we went to Disney World, we put suitcases up here, and you can like put this tray in, so you've got like this nice big flat space. And then there's like a little bit, you could fit like a few little things here, but the seat is under here and the like the battery and stuff like that. So the third row does not fold flat, which does make you lack in space. So if you have like young kids and you're going on a trip where you need like a pack and play and a stroller and a this and that, this probably is not the car for you, honestly. But for us with older kids, with 2 teenagers, it fit 4 people perfectly. But like if you needed to go on a trip with the back row, probably not. So if you have more than 4 people, this may not be the car for you. It just does not have a lot of space. The third row is not super roomy. With the third row up, are we gonna show them that?
Yeah, I think I did it in the B-roll.
Oh, there's like no cargo space at all. You could fit like, you know, a backpack or something. So the cargo space is definitely lacking, but it makes up for it in all the right, everywhere else. Okay, so as Megan mentioned, the cargo space isn't great. I'll put the sort of figure on screen so you guys can see how much cargo space you get. But let's just put it this way. We've had the Tahoe, we've had the Expedition, we've had everything except the Grand Wagoneer. I don't know why. Stellantis, hello, we exist. Give us some cars. But it's not good, okay? Compared to the other full-size, you know, SUVs and stuff like that, the Sequoia is notably lacking. And I can't stress this enough. If you're in our position and your kids are older and you take trips, but you don't need to carry all the paraphernalia that goes with having a baby or young children or something like that, it's not a big deal. I mean, we were at Disney for what, 5 days? It was like 5 days we were down there. We packed giant suitcases. I was coming in from LA. Say, we didn't pack light.
Yeah, we didn't pack light because I had to bring my giant suitcase because I went to LA for the Toyota Tahoe, the Toyota Tacoma event, and then had to fly straight into Atlanta and drive to Disney with them. So we had a lot of stuff. I had all my camera gear, my computer, and all that kind of stuff. We were able to fit. But if you're expecting sort of cavernous cargo space, it's not there. The hybrid battery pack takes up that space. You get this little divider. It's kind of a patchwork job. It helps a little bit, but just know that I can't stress that enough. The Sequoia looks awesome, and if you really want
this car not a hybrid?
No, that is one of the things that you absolutely need to know. You cannot get the Sequoia with the regular iForce. And also, because it has live rear axle and stuff like that, you're gonna be compromised on space no matter what. So just know that going in, either you really, really want it and you're okay buying a roof box, or you really, really want it and you can't make it work. We're lucky that we can, so that's why we want it so bad.
That's why I will have it.
That's why you will have it.
Okay, so the inside, this is my favorite part, the steering wheel. Oh, it's so big and it's so fat and it's so like tough. And it has the part where I can put my hand in the middle. So any of you who like to have this, like me, this gal is for you.
Literally like your ideal steering
wheel. It really is. The fat and the thing and it's perfect.
The fat and the thing.
That's what I want. Fat and then the thing. The seats, that's what I'm talking about, not very much cush. But if you can see the leather with like the blue stitching.
Oh yeah.
Like what is the blue stitching? Is that like
contrasting stitching?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
is
know
it
if
like
it's
a platinum thing?
or a TRD Off-road thing, but it looks great.
really
and it's
good.
on the dash too.
Can you get? Yeah, it's like throughout everywhere. Can you get it in any color, or is it just blue?
I think it's blue on this one.
Yeah, like blue looks really good. And look how fat. This is what I was talking about, like the oversized like accents. Like look how fat that is, and look how fat that is, and look how fat that is with these fatty things on the like. It's just all so big and oversized, and I love it. The giant sunroof. Can you see that?
Yeah, they can.
That goes front to way back is awesome. The buttons, everything is very user friendly. Now, my one thing I don't like is, and this is like a silly thing, but the place where you can charge like the pad, what's it called? Like a charging pad?
Yeah, wireless charging.
I find it a little tricky to get. I don't know. Like this makes it seem like, but when I was putting my phone there the other day, I accidentally turned my hazards on because the hazard button is right there.
Yeah, that's right there.
And then I was driving with my hazards and I was like, how did I do that? Like, where are the hazards then? Anyway, but once you know where they are, you just know to be careful. But it really isn't that big of a deal. But the camera, I think it has a great camera.
Yeah, surround view camera.
Yeah, when you hit the camera when you're trying to park and stuff, it's like huge. And I find it to be very, very accurate, I thought. Some of the cars, I feel like they're too, like it doesn't let you pull in far enough, you know?
Right.
But I felt like this one was pretty good.
Yeah, you get a good view on this, and then you have off-road cameras as well. So it shows you.
What does that mean?
They're multi-terrain monitor, so you can see the front and the sides and everything.
Oh, like if you're about to fall down a mountain?
Yeah, so when you're
Oh,
off-road, you
okay.
get side views and stuff down the side.
Oh, I don't think I want to see that. But yeah, I just love it. Like I said, other than the seats not being cushy, they are comfortable. They're just not cushy. There's nothing I don't like about this car. The heads-up display is great. All the things in the dash are
Digital
great.
gauges, yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Giant screen.
Yeah, and all the buttons are very like user-friendly. Like everything is where I think it should be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very Toyota.
Yeah. Is that a Toyota thing?
I mean,
It's like smart button placement.
They're just very practical.
Yeah, look at the things. They're like metal.
Oh yeah, it's got the
those look
sport
fun.
pedals.
Those look like sport. They look like when you had that car and you put those sporty pedals in.
Oh, my Mazda
Remember?
3.
Yeah. They remind me of that. I like this. Even this guy looks big and tough.
The shifter.
Yeah.
The gear selector
Yeah.
that you can never remember what they're called.
Yeah.
This thing that makes it go into gear.
I love it. Like, can I have it? Can I just keep this car,
I don't know. Hope people watch this video. Maybe.
please?
Okay, so space-wise, as you can see, I am 6'6" and I have plenty of room. The seat is actually motored back because this has memory seats and it powers back when you get out of the car. So I have plenty of space even with it motored back. I can even fit behind myself with it motored back. I can easily fit behind myself when I have it set for where me or Megan would be driving the car because we drive with the same seating position because she likes to drive with her legs all the way out. And,
And you
I'm
like to
used
drive
to,
scrunched
yeah,
up.
and I'm used to having them bent. So the interior of the Sequoia is almost identical to the Tundra, and that means it's big and chunky and functional. I will say that in the Platinum trims, it is nicer that you get some of this softer touch dash material. I've criticized the Tundra for the interior just being a little plasticky, and in the Sequoia, you get some of this.
plasticky.
Well, no, you get the softer touch materials covering stuff up. You get it over here with the stitching and things like that. It looks a lot better. It really helps to kind of dress up the interior of the Tundra a little bit. That's why some of those upper trims of the Tundra just look a lot better than they do in SR5 trim. This really looks nice in Platinum trim. It's a lot of black plastic, but that's okay. We both enjoy that.
Looks good though.
Yeah, it doesn't bother us. You get a lot of the nice features. You get the ambient lighting. Did you mention the ambient lighting?
Oh no, I forgot the blue lights at night.
Yeah, you get the blue ambient lighting around the cabin, the giant screen. Everything's easy to use. Now, Megan already talked about that. Your four-wheel drive system here, you have the push button control for your 2 high. So this is in 2 high normally, and then you can switch it down to 4 high or 4 low, and you've got your drive mode multi-purpose dial right here. So when you press the different buttons, it changes what the dial can do. So you have your drive mode, which is your sport or eco, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Or have we already talked about that? I probably already have talked about that in the driving portion. And then you have your multi-terrain select, and you also have your crawl control because this is a TRD Off-road. So it comes with downhill crawl control, which is an awesome
Like if you're
feature.
going down a really steep hill.
Yeah, you could set it to, it's almost like cruise control for when you're off-road. Like, and it will hold a very kind of reasonable speed on, steep or very dangerous terrain. Not dangerous, like just challenging. We'll say challenging terrain. But the interior is big, trucky, functional. It's just, we can't say this stuff. It really is perfect for us. It really is perfect for us. We both really, really like this car a lot.
Okay, so the back seat is super roomy. Like this, is like I drive way far back, and then this doesn't it go back when you get out when you park?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is with it motored back.
Yeah, like when it like this where it is right now, I can barely touch the pedals. Like it's way far back for this. Like you would never drive like this. And I'm 5'9". I have plenty of space. Like I could definitely drive like this for a long period of time and be super comfortable. So
well, and the girls are taller than you, and they did.
And they did. Yeah, I mean they had more space than this, but yeah, they both sat back here. They're like 5'11" and 6'1", and they both sat back here and had plenty of space with luggage and everything. And the middle, like this middle console is huge. I really like. Can you get this does it only come as bucket seats?
I think lower trims are benches, but I think Platinum is buckets.
Yeah, the buckets are awesome. And then this middle console has 2 extra cup. So you have cup holders here, cup holders here, cup holders up there, and on the sides, and on this. Like there's, I mean, you could never have this many drinks. Yeah. And it just looks good. And I love how the stitching goes all the way through back here, you know, like it carries through.
So I am in the second row only for reference. Okay, you get the captain's chairs in the Platinum version. The seat is motored back farther than normal because it comes back when you get out. So you can see at 6'6", I can still sit behind myself. Now the biggest thing here is lack of headroom for someone my height. And I tilted the seat back a little bit so I can fit. So you can fit, you just lose a little of that headroom with the panoramic sunroof.
But it's not enough that it would bother anybody of a normal height.
No, I am 6.5 feet tall, so I am freakishly tall. So yeah, if you're normal height, I would say anything under 6'2", you're probably more than fine. Now the third row, because you can tumble the seat forward to access the third row. Not that we would recommend any human being sitting in the third row for any amount of time.
But we did make Hallie sit back there.
But we did make Hallie sit back there, and Hallie is 5'11", and the only reason that she was able to do that is because she was able to extend her feet a little bit in between these.
A little bit?
A lot.
It was like her whole legs.
Yeah, her whole legs were basically resting on this thing. So a taller person, or well, for her, 5'11", an above average person, should not sit in the third row.
I don't think an average person could fit back
Well,
there.
an average man is 5'11". She is a much above average woman. So a 5'11" human, right, could fit in the third row if they could get their legs in between the captain's chairs. But nothing more than small children should ever be back there. And the downside, as we mentioned, is that you lose all your cargo space with the third row up. So
just pretend like it's not even there.
Right, pretend like it's not even there. And I know some people are going like, well, I could always buy like a Tahoe. And then great, we'll go buy a Tahoe. If you have a big family, right, if you have a big family. But the Tahoe looks like a giant box. And we are Suburban owners. We have a 2012 Suburban. So we're not saying that from a bias standpoint. The current Tahoe is boring looking. This thing looks way cooler. And if you have our needs, you could own one of these. It works for us. But, you know, if you have small children, maybe, but nothing more than that could fit in the third. So, because we got to drive this to Disney World, all right, so these are the kind of most real-world reviews for you guys because we get to live with the car for a longer period of time. This is 2 weeks we've been in this thing, 1,000 miles covered so far. So we've got a lot of seat time in this, and from a driving standpoint, I'm not gonna go on too much about the basic controls because they're all pretty great. Like the acceleration on this thing with the iForce Max engine is fantastic. The brake pedal feel is generally pretty good. The steering I actually really like. It's pretty low effort, it's lightish, but it's pretty quick off center. Very easy to pilot this thing around. The turning circle's good. Like everything about
What is a turning circle?
Like how far you can, or how wide of a turning circle it needs to turn completely around. You all right there?
I'm doing the best I can, yep.
Also, another thing that I would point out from the general sort of driving characteristics, and you mentioned this, is that this is a very comfortable ride. This is a TRD Off-road trim with the Bilstein shocks, and they ride exceptionally well. I mean, we covered 450 miles each way to Disney, and it was super comfortable. Yeah, you fell asleep, but I felt like it was comfortable, but always stayed under control. I love the fact that you get such a comfortable ride in this giant SUV, along with that off-road capability. It's like you're not sacrificing anything. So this is a very pleasant vehicle to drive and live with on a daily basis. Now, I will say, two things that I want to point out to you guys. One, and I've complained about this a little bit on the Toyota Tundra and the Toyota Sequoia before. The 10-speed automatic transmission is fine, especially under load. When you're accelerating quickly, it's quick, it's smooth, you don't even notice it's there. It does have a little bit of hesitation sometimes at lower speeds, and it does have a little bit of a shuffling of power as you come to a stop. It's nothing like wrong with it. It's just juggling these sort of hybrid powertrain. And so there's a little bit of like kind of shifting around. Sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't.
I don't notice that at all.
Yeah, you didn't notice it. And
I
if
think
you
only
didn't,
if you're like a real enthusiast driver like yourself.
yeah, I think you got to be attuned to it.
Yeah.
The fact that you didn't notice it, I think.
Not at all. And I do sometimes notice when I don't like the way cars drive.
Yes, you
know?
definitely mentioned that when something's bugging you about the way a
Yeah.
car drives. So I think the fact that you didn't mention it, it shows you what a minor complaint this
Whoa.
is to me.
Whoa.
Sorry, there's a big bump there. There's another big bump coming up. Let's see how much of my head
no.
gets cut off
Okay,
by
okay.
camera person. Ugh. The other thing that I want to point out is fuel economy. Now, people really, Toyota has been, I think, kind of unfairly getting some flack from people that are saying that with the truck engines, the iForce Max version of both the upcoming Toyota Tacoma and then this and the Tundra and the Sequoia, and they're saying like, oh, well, you know, you have this hybrid powertrain, you're giving up some cargo space in the back with the battery. What are the real world benefits? The real world benefit is that you get 583 pound-feet of torque. Let me just say that again, 583 pound-feet of torque, which is the most
What
in
is
the
normal?
full size. Like 350 in a base model like Tahoe or something, 400, maybe 450 in the uprated 6.2 liter with the GM twins, but 583 pound-feet of torque, that's like more than like a Raptor, okay? Like you're getting a crap ton of torque in this giant vehicle that gives it such a great sense of urgency when you're driving. It never feels caught for like acceleration. You always have power in this thing. And so that's kind of the benefit of that iForce Max engine. And people go, well, the fuel economy is just so-so. It's good for a giant vehicle, okay? I want to point this out. Driving down to Disney World, I was driving in normal mode, and we had driven around in some suburban driving, and I was not trying to get great gas mileage. And I think when we pulled into Disney World, we were at about 19.6, almost 20 miles per gallon average for that trip. So
Is that good?
yeah, I'd say decent for a giant SUV. Then on the way home, here's the weird thing. I put it into eco mode out of curiosity. On the way home, it was lower. We were averaging like just under 18 miles per gallon. When I turned eco mode off,
There was a lot more traffic though.
yes,
on the
there
way
was a
home.
lot more traffic. So that was why I turned on eco mode. I'm glad you reminded me about that, because that was why I turned it on. I turned it on because there was a lot more traffic, and I thought, well, maybe it'll stay in hybrid mode in the stop and go more, and let's see if that's a benefit. And it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't, because when I turned it off and I reset it and I just did it myself, and it also in cruise control too, it did not really seem to prioritize saving gas. And so in cruise control, it's just like, we're just gonna maintain this set speed, and I don't give a crap what it does to the gas mileage. When I did it myself with my foot, I was actually able to raise the average gas mileage, and it went up to 19 miles per gallon by the time we got home. So I thought that was really interesting. Basically what I'm saying is, there's no point,
story long.
long story long, there is no point to driving in eco mode, in my opinion. Like, just drive in normal mode, enjoy the acceleration. Eco mode dulls out the throttle mapping a little bit. Forget it. Just drive it in normal mode and enjoy your 583 pound-feet of torque. And if you want to get better gas mileage, just, you know, be thoughtful with your inputs. But overall, from a driving experience, I wish I could have gotten this thing off-road, but we just didn't have time. It's got to go back on Monday, and, you know, it's been the holidays. It's Thanksgiving when we filmed this. So I want to take it off-road. It's very capable. You got all the off-road goodies that I mentioned earlier. But this is such a good all-around SUV. I love the way it drives. It's such a pleasant thing to live with. It's comfortable on the highway. The gas mileage is great considering the power.
And it looks so good.
And of course it looks so good. So from behind the wheel, it's comfortable too. You were right about the seats. They are firm, but I like lumbar. I have a messed up back, got mad scoliosis. And when we got to Disney World and when we got back to Atlanta, I feel great.
Yeah, I was never uncomfortable.
I was never uncomfortable. Like, I think Toyota gets the last laugh there because they're like, we know what's better for you than you know. We know better than you, and we made this firm and supportive. Okay, fair enough. I was perfectly comfortable. I dialed in the lumbar. It was good. So This thing, it just ticks all the boxes for us. I absolutely love it. I love the big chunky controls. I love the ergonomics. I will say some Toyota ergonomics are a little weird. Like, why is my heated steering wheel down here by my knee?
I thought that was weird too.
Yeah, Toyota every once in a while, they're just like, pew, with the ergonomics, and they just
I don't
put
like
something,
the hazards in the middle.
Somewhere bizarre. But for the most part, this is a super pleasant interior to be in. So no squeaks or rattles. My buddy TRD John is having some issues with his Tundra Platinum. Go check out his channel. He's an awesome guy and knows more about Toyotas than I ever will. He's having some window issues with rattling. There's a fair amount of wind noise in this vehicle, but he's having some issues with his window rattling. So go check out his channel if you want to see some of that about the Tundra. But in this car, nothing. Not a squeak, not a rattle. Perfect build quality. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, you're rattling on.
So I think it's pretty obvious at this point that we really like the Toyota Sequoia. Love the Toyota Sequoia. We adore it. We're infatuated with it. We both really like the Toyota Sequoia. Love the Toyota Sequoia. And we were looking at them online because Megan's been looking at a new car and we were talking about getting a Toyota Sequoia. And I was leaning more towards the TRD Pro because I just like the TRD Pro, like the style, like the off-road capability. But Megan was like, no. It's way too much off-road stuff. I want a nicer interior. And so I had built out online a Platinum trim with a TRD off-road package. And then weirdly, in the driveway, this one shows up with Lunar Rock and the black trim, which I wasn't even aware.
Toyota's listening in.
Yeah, I think I gotta talk to
It's like when
Toyota.
you say something and then it shows up on your Facebook.
Yeah, I think the
Toyota's
phone was listening. I
watching.
think Toyota was feeling the vibes there or something because they knew something. It was something about them knew that this would be the perfect combo for us. And I'm not saying that jokingly, and I'm not just saying that for the purpose of the video. Megan's not just saying that for the purpose of the video. This Lunar Rock trim with the black accents looks phenomenal.
And I've always been a black car person.
Yeah, you like the black cars.
So it's shocking to me that I love this color.
And we were looking at the dark gray. I think it's the magnetic gray. We were looking at that, but it still had a lot of the chrome trim. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'll put the TRD off-road package on it. That'll help a little bit. And minus the TRD off-road front skid plate, which I would still really like, but whatever. Oh, hey, quick update. Sorry to interrupt, but it does have the skid plates. The TRD off-road package comes with the skid plates, but the front skid plate that I was talking about, the big one that says TRD across it, which of course you would want because it looks awesome, it's actually underneath here. The reason that I couldn't see it is because you still have this like front air dam down here, which I don't think the TRD Pro has, so you can kind of see the TRD Pro one underneath, but this one has it. I'm not going to crawl under the car to show you, but it does have the TRD skid plate, so I think that's pretty sick. I just checked it on the build sheet on the window sticker and it has it. The other thing that I want to mention is look how good looking this thing is. I mean, come on. Minus that, this one comes in with the Lunar Rock and the black trim and just blows it out of the water and looks 10 times better. So I think we've communicated that we really enjoy this vehicle. And I know that we both have made some small criticisms about this vehicle, but they are small, and don't let that make you think that we would not actually buy this vehicle because we're very likely, we very will likely have one of these in the not too distant future. So stay tuned because we'll document that on the channel and that whole, process if we get one. We'll do that with whatever car we replace Megan's old Suburban with. But we both really old emphasis on old. We both really enjoy this car, and I'll let Megan kind of take us out with her conclusion, which is probably the most obvious conclusion in the history of obvious conclusions on this channel. But if this vehicle works for you the way it works for us, if your kids are older, you don't need all the space, and you just enjoy having that trucky attitude that this thing brings combined with the off-road capability that looks so awesome, definitely give the Toyota Sequoia a look. And now Megan will rate it, even though we all know where this is going.
All right, are we ready?
For your ratings.
Yes. First of all, go dogs.
Yeah.
So exterior, 10 out of 10. I don't even have to think about it. Like, it is a 10 out of 10, especially if you get the Lunar Rock. That maybe makes it like a 12 out of 10. It is awesome. I think it'd probably look good in any color, but it is, I cannot say enough good things. 10 out of 10, faux show. The way it drives, 10 out of 10. I mean, I have literally, and we've driven it for a while. I drove it for a while before we went to Disney. I have nothing but good things to say about it. So the way it drives, 10 out of 10. The interior, as much as it pains me to not give it a perfect 30, is the seat. I'm going to have to give it like a 9.5 out of 10. I will only go down a half point because I love everything else that much that everything else like pulls it up. Then the seat is just... So if you could just put a little more cushion in there, Toyota, it'd be a 10 out of 10, but 9.5 out of 10. Overall rating, 9.995 out of 10.
Wow, 9.995.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had to take off just a tiny bit for the seat. But other than that, I mean, it's perfect. I want this car. I want like literally this specific car.
Yeah.
I would not change anything.
We'll just take this one.
I'll just take this one. Yeah, come on, Toyota, please. It's cold out here, honey. But I love it. I think it's great. I think you should definitely try it out. Unless you have, like I said, a big family.
Yeah.
The space is lacking, but this car is awesome. So 10 out of 10. Oh, 9.995 out of 10. I love it. Like, subscribe, ring the bell if you want to see more.
That was fast.
Like in a bad way? I'm about to sneeze.
Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about how this is like the 25th video in a row?
Okay, maybe it's like my new thing. Like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's that sneezy girl." I'm not sick. I think it's allergies.
You have a problem.
I'm not sick. I feel perfectly fine. I just am a little sneezy today.
You're a little sneezy in every video ever.
Maybe I'm allergic to you. Have you thought about that?
Maybe you're allergic to YouTube.
YouTube? That's what you just said? That doesn't make any sense. Oh,
What the heck are you doing?
I was joking.
Oh,
Because you asked how much of your head I was going to cut off, so I cut off all of it.
Yeah, you just like.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. I was just going into it.
Oh, camera person with
Yeah,
humor and jokes over here.
I do have the jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you didn't get the joke, so you need to get.
I'm not sure anybody got the joke.
It was funny.
Okay, comment down below if it was funny.
It was funny.
It was not. Yeah, it's take two. Why is it take two? Why is it take
because
two?
you didn't hit record, I guess. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
It's
because
kinda weird.
I'm recording on the camera. Yeah, someone
I don't
was
know how that happened.
recording my legs as I got out of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, fired camera person. How many times does that happen to me?
How many?
0.
Oh, very funny.
This retake. This was your fault.
Oh, that's hysterical. That's hysterical. Because I know about the number setting on the camera and that we need to change it. I know none of that.
You're just a tripod at this point. You're just a tripod.
Very funny.
All right, so